Tzu Chi volunteers assist residents affected by Tropical Storm Chiangmai in Bohol Island, Philippines. We visit some firefighters in Kaohsiung, Taiwan to see how they're recovering from last year's underground gas explosion. Welcome to DA Headlines. I'm Helen Nell. Thank you for joining us. In the wake of Tropical Storm Chiangmai, hundreds of families in Bohol Island, the Philippines, were left severely affected. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers in Manila recently traveled to Bohol Island to offer their assistance. Besides providing residents with daily necessities, the volunteers also prepared cleaning tools to help locals clean up as quickly as possible. Let's take a look. 2 weeks following Typhoon Chiangmai, Tzu Chi volunteers in Manila, Philippines, organized a relief distribution at a gymnasium at Lopbok, Bohol Island.
We are thankful to the Tzu Chi Foundation for providing us with relief items. Your help is greatly appreciated because we lost many things in the typhoon. Thank you for the support.
Thank you.
Besides the Tzu Chi volunteers, a group of Tzu Chi scholarship recipients are also on site to assist with the distribution.
I am extremely moved by today's event because we had the chance to help those in greater need. All of the recipients were our fellow citizens who lost everything to the storm. Now I finally realize what it feels like to be a giver.
In mid-October 2013, Bohol Island was struck by a strong quake. Following the disaster, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived to offer various types of assistance, such as prefab classrooms. Now, more than a year later, many locals have become a part of the Tzu Chi family.
So it is very important, not only the material things, but something that you learn for yourself, that you can use every day in your life.
Like in our place,
whenever someone is in need of assistance, Tzu Chi volunteers are always there to help, whether that person is rich or poor. That's why I joined the organization, because I also want to help the less fortunate.
To help residents clean up the mess left behind by the tropical storm, volunteers also brought new cleaning tools.
The storm affected 13 barangays, so we really need equipment to clean up our communities. These tools will help us greatly.
Despite not being materially well off, many residents still donated their love to Tzu Chi's bamboo coin banks because they know that inside they are all spiritually wealthy. Tzu Chi's winter relief distribution in Guangxi, China entered its 4th year this winter. Volunteers from Guangxi, Guangdong, Hainan province and a team from Taiwan recently arrived in Xianhu Township, delivering aid and blessings to help impoverished residents brave the elements this winter.
In the black of the night, volunteers set out on their journey.
We will be distributing aid to 606 households or 1,156 people today. 150 volunteers have been mobilized to assist with the distribution.
The distribution has not yet begun. However, many villagers from around Xianhu Township arrived bright and early with their distribution forms and anticipation written all over their faces.
You have helped us greatly. We are so thankful to Tzu Chi. I left home at about 7:30 a.m. and got here at around 9. It was a long way for me.
Although Liang Xiudao from Siyu village only has one arm, it has never stopped him from braving life's trials. With the aid supplies tied to the back of his bicycle, Liang hurries home to share the rice with his family. The bags of rice, cooking oil and warm clothing are just basic necessities, but in the eyes of these villagers, these items are worth more than gold itself.
Thank you, Tzu Chi. Thank you for caring about us. We are so grateful for your presence.
While Tzu Chi's great love has touched the hearts of these villagers, the relief items will keep stomachs warm this winter. Wherever she goes, Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Xiaoyan always touches others with a genuine kindness and warm demeanor.
I find that if you open your heart to others, they will open their hearts to you. I truly feel my life has been enriched after every visit.
Putting a jacket over the senior, Tzu Chi volunteer Deng Yingcheng is reminded of his own father.
My father passed away not so long ago. Many of the seniors we met today were very friendly. I hope that by chatting with them, we can help them temporarily forget their worries.
Apart from documenting the moving stories transpiring from the day's visit, volunteer Huang Shufen even helps out as a translator for the other volunteers.
There are many seniors here who haven't received a visitor in so many years. Apart from their own families, no one else comes to visit them. So they were really excited when we came to visit.
Helping to better residents' lives with love and compassion, volunteers find their lives have also been enriched as well.
For people who are unfamiliar with vegetarianism, meatless dishes are often perceived as bland and dull. But for 9-year-old Lu Hongning, who has been a vegetarian since young, what she cares most about isn't whether a dish is tasty or not. It is about cherishing all living beings. Hongning also has one very simple wish, and that is to recruit 100 people to join her vegetarian campaign.
Going meatless doesn't affect my vitality at all. There are many people who are vegetarians and are still strong and healthy. Vegetarianism isn't necessarily bad.
Since she was little, she hasn't been a big fan of meat. Her nanny would tell me, Hongning doesn't eat her meat. What should I do? I told her she should give Hongning veggies instead. So her nanny always told me that Hongning is very easy to feed.
Humans are meant to be vegetarians. I feel at ease about my choice and I know I am doing the right thing.
I feel she is more compassionate and more empathetic now.
I told her that she can save many animals by adopting a vegetarian diet. And by eating just one vegetarian meal a day, you can save one animal. Killing a chick just to satisfy our craving for a drumstick is very inhumane.
What my child cares most about is not inflicting any pain on the animals, as opposed to whether vegetarian dishes are tasty or not. I believe she won't be swayed by others. Instead, she has the power to influence those around her.
My grandma cooks a lot of meat at home, so I thought I should eat vegetarian meals at school.
I feel that meat is too greasy and it's a little unhealthy too.
I hope all my classmates can join me in going meatless and that they will serve vegetarian food inside our classroom. For eternity.
She is easily satisfied. She won't be tempted by appealing dishes. This is what I respect most about her.
我还蛮欣赏她的。听说你有个愿望，你的愿望是什么？
募100个人来吃素。
看大家，哇，她要募100个人来吃素。请问你现在在学校，你从1年级到现在，你募集了几位？
应该有15个吧。愿意大家一起跟我吃素吗？愿意的请举手。
哇，好棒！
去哪呀？ I
want to save people. I hope we may live in a world free of calamity and disaster. I hope no one will have to lose their lives because of disasters. I hope to save them.
In Taiwan, the day to honor firefighters fell on January 19. Thus, in today's report, we feature firefighters from Kaohsiung who suffered injuries due to the underground gas explosion on July 31st last year. Many are still in rehab for their injuries, such as Yu Tai-yun, who suffers burns to his face and arms. Although so had yet regained the full use of his hand, Yu says he looks forward to returning to his post as soon as possible.
After the underground gas explosions, when riding on a scooter with my wife, whenever a turn comes up, I get really scared. I wasn't like this before. I suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. I don't feel safe in my heart.
Every morning at 9:30, Yu Tai-yun reports to the rehab center to begin his exercises for the day. On the front lines the night of the 731 Kaohsiung gas explosions, Yu only thought about rescuing the survivors and thus neglected his own injuries to his face and arms.
In the past, I thought these movements were so simple. Now they were such a big challenge for me.
Like wearing thick rubber gloves, Yu finds his hands cumbersome and unyielding. Moving blocks or holding his hand in a fist is a challenge in itself.
My hands are like robotic hands. I can't bend them much. This is as much as I can bend it.
Yu's injuries are so severe due to Yu putting others before himself.
I saw explosion after explosion. My colleague finally noticed the extent of my injuries and asked me not to delay going to the hospital. He saw an ambulance and asked me to take it, but I said no. The ambulance is for civilians who are hurt. I can't ride the ambulance as I am working on the front lines.
This is the wedding ring that Yu holds dear to his heart. Shedding his precious suit only during meals, Yu's face is scarred from the massive burns he suffered that day. His path to recovery is still a long ways away, but this phoenix is slowly rising from the ashes. Meanwhile, another who suffered injuries on the front lines was Huang Shihua. Huang was crushed underneath piles of rubble on the street, but managed to climb out alive with only injuries to his face and foot.
This was injured even more severely before. My foot was hurting for a month before it healed up. As for my face, it healed in 2 short weeks.
Huang Shihua took a month off to heal from his injuries. In the eyes of others, the job of a firefighter is full of dangers lurking behind every cry for help. But in the hearts of these public servants, their determination to protect lives is unwavering.
Choosing this profession as a career, we have to hold on to our initial aspiration and shoulder the responsibility that goes with it. I look forward to returning to work because that means I will no longer be in pain.
In the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan, Tzu Chi volunteers reach out to those affected by the tragedy. Regardless of any differences between race and faith, the Buddhist NGO's philosophy of helping the less fortunate has been aligned with Pope Francis' ideal of different religions working together on behalf of the sick and poor. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines wrote a letter to thank the Pope for his love and care for the Haiyan survivors. Here's more. It has been more than a year since Typhoon Haiyan struck the Philippines, and many of the disaster survivors have slowly started to recover from the tragedy. To help residents start a new chapter in their life, the Tzu Chi Foundation has been hard at working constructing prefab housing units. Tzu Chi volunteers also wrote a letter to Pope Francis to thank him for the compassion and love he delivered on behalf of Haiyan survivors. The letter was later published by The Inquirer, a local English newspaper.
We told the Pope that the Tzu Chi Foundation has been collaborating with churches in Haiti, Tacloban, and many South American countries. And together we are offering assistance to the less fortunate.
Tzu Chi volunteers continue to spread the seeds of love to impoverished areas across the globe.
The Catholic Church is very thankful to Master Zheng Yan for lending a helping hand despite the differences in faith. The Master, for her part, said that the Church is an important spiritual home for many disaster survivors.
Great love can help people overcome religious and racial differences and together work towards a disaster-free world. The Santo Nino Church in Tacloban City, Philippines, was left severely damaged following Typhoon Haiyan. Knowing the church role in strengthening the faith of its members, Tzu Chi decided to help rebuild this spiritual home. With the assistance of the Buddhist NGO, the church was finally reopened on Christmas Day of 2014. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers and Tima members organized a free clinic at the church, helping more than 200 residents regain their vision. Outside of the Santo Nino Church in Tacloban City, more than 200 patients wait anxiously for the arrival of Tima members. Upon seeing the doctors and nurses, everyone happily expresses their gratitude. Due to limited income, many residents, including 64-year-old Mildred, don't have the ability to treat their eye problems. Mildred, who suffers from poor vision in one eye, says this is her second time attending a Tzu Chi free clinic.
Tima volunteers are very patient and help solve our problems. This is the kind of love and care I have been looking for.
During the free clinic, Tima volunteers give each patient a thorough eye exam. This is also the first time the Tzu Chi Foundation organized a free clinic inside Santo Nino Church following Typhoon Haiyan. Among the Tima volunteers on site is Shi Mei Sheng, who is a devoted Catholic.
This Catholic church has been beautifully rebuilt, thanks to Tzu Chi. We are thankful that Master Zheng Yan has given us the chance to help those in greater need.
Knowing that the Santo Nino Church is an important landmark and spiritual home for locals in Tacloban City, Tzu Chi Foundation decided to organize its free clinic there.
This church has many devotees. It is great that the Tzu Chi Foundation can organize a free clinic here to help those without means. With our assistance, many can regain their sight.
In helping the less fortunate regain their eyesight, Tima volunteers have also rekindled their passion for medicine. In the years to come, the Tzu Chi Foundation will continue to collaborate with the Santo Nino Church to help those in greater need regardless of the differences in race or faith. More than 20 years ago, the Tzu Chi Foundation first set foot in the Philippines to help the less fortunate in the country. In spite of the differences between race and faith, the Buddhist NGO's assistance to needy residents has continued until this day. Next, we traveled to Palo, Leh Province to see how Tzu Chi's cash flow program has helped farmers rebuild their livelihood following Tropical Storm Chiangmai of late December 2014. In the wake of Tropical Storm Chiangmai, farmlands and crops in Palo, Leh Province were left severely damaged. Seeing the devastation brought by the tropical storm, residents who were also victims of Typhoon Haiyan once again fell into despair.
Now I don't have any cassavas to harvest because of the tropical storm.
To rebuild their livelihood, farmers gathered together to clean up the excessive mud and water in their fields. The Tzu Chi Foundation has also launched a cash reward program to encourage storm survivors to clean up their surroundings. Through a collective effort, in no time many streets are clean and tidy once again.
Originally, I only had 80 pesos left. I have received 220 pesos from Tzu Chi's Cash for Work program. Now I finally have the means to purchase and cook rice for dinner.
Many Cash to Work participants break into smiles upon receiving their salaries because they finally have money to purchase food. In the wake of Typhoon Haiyan, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines have begun to pass on the practice of recycling to local residents. Inspired by the Buddhist NGO's philosophy, many residents have decided to become recycling volunteers themselves. Next, we go to Tacloban City to see how local volunteers are carrying out Tzu Chi's recycling mission. Early in the morning, volunteers in Tacloban City are ready to begin their day by practicing recycling. This is volunteer Teresa, who realized the urgent need to address the problem of waste following Typhoon Haiyan. To help decrease the amount of garbage in her community, Teresa began to practice recycling and even became a recycling volunteer to spread Tzu Chi's environmental messages far and wide.
Tacloban is a flood-prone city because residents here have created too much garbage. Now everyone in the city practices recycling.
After greeting the homeowner, Teresa and her counterparts rolled up their sleeves to sort the recyclables. Besides dedicating herself wholeheartedly to safeguarding the planet, Teresa has also called on her neighbors to join her.
Hello, Manaister! Mapay nga aga! Ngayon hindi na namin binibenta ka.
The Tzu Chi Foundation is a charitable organization. Now we don't sell recyclables anymore. Instead, we donate all of them to Tzu Chi.
By practicing recycling, everyone, including myself, has the chance to learn from one another.
Seeing the selfless dedication of the recycling volunteers, many local residents have started to donate their recyclables to the Buddhist NGO as a show of their support.
Practicing recycling is great because we can help the less fortunate. Although we only contribute a little, we are still very happy.
Thanks to the collective effort of the local volunteers, the message of donating recyclables to Tzu Chi to help the less fortunate has slowly taken root in Tacloban City. We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show, where the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital organized a farewell party for Chen Tuanzhi of Xiamen, China, who underwent 7 surgeries to treat the deformity of her knees. During the event, Chen took the moment to thank the volunteers and medical staff for their endless support. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching the Headlines. Goodbye.